Hi, this is Marty Jordan. My video is late and I'm sorry. I've been working on it for over a week and I still can't get the assignment done. Um, so I'll give you what I have. The assignment was I've been promoted to a health information coordinator and I've been asked to develop a diabetes registry database. Um, I thought it was going to be pretty exciting because diabetes is my research focus and it is my clinical focus. So I was pretty sure I would know what kind of information to collect on the patients, but I worked and I got a tutor and I got to help me a little bit with developing the database, and I put questions out there on the um, discussion board this week, and I had figured out some of the things, but still, here we go, writing the script was my downfall again. But I was able to create the EER diagram finally for my tables. So here's my tables. So what I decided to do was create um, 3 tables, um, and I decided to do what's important when you're doing diabetes management is glycemic control is really um, the most important thing to control CV risk management and microvascular in organ. I originally sent you a table that had a whole bunch of extra things on it, and then when I got into it and trying to write the script, I took a whole bunch of things out because it was just too hard. So I went back and put in there what I thought was the most important things. So I originally, under demographics, had patient ID, date of birth, sex, and race because sex and race have really um, are really important, but I don't know. I'll probably end up putting those back in there because I looked ahead to the next assignments and you want to put it in there by sex. Um, so then, um, I created a table for glycemic control, and you need to have BMI affects that, so I put that in there. The American Diabetes Association standard said everybody needs to have diet education, activity education. Then you need to, one of the core measures on most things are the A1C, and then the standards of care say everybody needs to be on metformin. And then I originally had on there metformin, and then the GLP-1s and the SGLT2s, because those are the meds that you want to have people on because they protect their heart. But then I took those out and I just went in and went back and changed it to the number of meds they're on, because it got to be too hard to have all those in a script. And then when you're doing CV risk management, there's a whole bunch of factors that you want to do with that. But again, when you're writing a script, it's so labor intensive, and I knew I wouldn't be able to do it because I can't even get the script for what I have now. So I put in there, the LDL-C is the most important, and when you want to have your patients with diabetes to have an LDL-C of less than 70, we want our patients to have aspirin, low dose aspirin. We want their blood pressure to be less than 140 over 90. We want to make sure everybody stops taking tobacco of any, and now we're putting in their vape use. We want people to be on statins, and we want people to have an ACE or an ARB as medications, unless there's a contraindication. To assess microvascular and organ damage, you want to make sure everybody has a foot exam every year, and then make sure they have a dilated eye exam and they have a microalbumin every year. And so I finally figured out how to connect the lines. Everybody helped me with that. They told me how to click on the tables, but finally figured it out. Um, I went back and read the chapter 3 times, and finally, after reading it the third time, I figured it out. So I clicked the lines and got these to show that they all affect each other. And so after I did this, then I got this, and what you and I did in office hours that one night and spent an hour. I tried to create the tables. So, of course, something's wrong, but I can't figure out how to, um, I can't figure out when I have it here because there's no thing to click to make I can never get the red X's to go away. And then there's no squiggly lines to add these tables in here. And I have a person who was trying to help me, and he told me to download PHP My Admin, and then I could input the data. That was the second person that I consulted. The first one I consulted online to see if I could do an Microsoft um, uh, Excel sheet, because I put all of my data into an Excel spreadsheet, and it did say you could do that some way, but I could never figure it out either. So when I downloaded PHP My Admin to my computer, but then I couldn't figure out how to install it onto my computer. So I wrote the scripts to create the tables, and they wouldn't work. So I was going to show you then. Here's the scripts that I wrote, which didn't work. And then I was going to show you my tables that I created with the 20 patients and their data points. And this is a 0. So every table has patient ID column. This is the BMI column. This is the diet education. 0 means they have not had education. 1 means they did. This is activity education. The American Heart Association recommends that patients have 150 minutes of activity a week. This is people's A1C. This is the number of medications they're on. As I said, everybody recommends they be on metformin, and then if their A1C doesn't get under control within 3 months, 3 to 6 months, you check another A1C after you've started on medication, and then you add another medicine. And then the recommendation from 2019 Standards of Care is you add a medication. You add either an SGLT2 or a GLP-1 or medicine. So then I would add to these patients. And then this is their LDL-C, and then you put people on statins and you want them to be 70. And then this is if they're on aspirin. A lot of times people they forget to put people on aspirin. So 0 means they're not on it, and 1 means they are. Blood pressure readings. My person that I'm working with and that teaches here at Southern in the IT program said that there might be a problem with inputting this data if I did finally figure out how to use PHP My Admin, because it's a number that's 135 over 81. So I don't know how I'm going to do that, but I'm going to try to find another tutor. This column is tobacco use. 0 means they don't use. 1 means they do. This table is, I forgot to label it, sorry. And then this table is if they've had a foot exam. This is if they've had an eye exam. And this is if they have urine microalbumin yet. So I'm still working on it. I have cut my tables down. I have added, subtracted, and I'm still trying very hard to figure out how to do this. And I'm bound and determined to get this done by the end of the semester. If I have to hire somebody, a teacher from the IT department here at Southern, so I will get this project done and I will come to your office hours. So thank you for all the help you've given me so far, and I will get this done. Thank you.